They're going to have to come out early. I think if they can score a goal or two right off the bat and then continue to play aggressive to the ball, then we may see them have a chance here. But Leafs have just looked so dominant.
After a 7-0 game 1 and then a 6-1 game 3 the other direction, did you ever think we'd see a game 7?
Taking a shot! Oh, it goes in! What's up, everybody, and welcome to Manfield at Night. I am Dr. McBoop, and I will not be casting this, but Static and Llama will be. What's going on, guys?
Hey, McBoop. Hey, Llama. How's it going?
It's all going pretty good. Exciting BLS coming up as always.
Could have fooled me.
I mean, ignoring what just happened, just pretend it's 10 minutes ago and everything's going great.
Skynet, please. Alright, hey, looks like we're going to get this underway. This is going to be the first round of the BLS playoffs. Season 4, I believe? Is this Season 4?
Season 5.
5. Man, what did I miss?
Apparently one of the seasons.
Yeah, and that's not even including Season 0, I imagine.
It's actually a pretty good question what you missed, because you announced all of last season as Season 4.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I missed a lot of things. I do not deserve that big old paycheck I get. Alright, so getting back to the game, Team McBoop finishing at number 4 in our total rankings for Season 5 is facing off against the number 3 ranked Team Overthrow, ! Overthrow. This is kind of your classic McBoop versus Overthrow. Is it down with McBoop, or will McBoop rise again? What do you think, Llama?
I'm not totally sure. I think, I was looking at some of the stats earlier, and I think I'm going to have to give the slight edge to Overthrow as McBoop scores. Caster's Curse strikes again. That was just a pretty simple goal from Andy. No one back for Overthrow, and it just, he put it in. But what I was saying before is that based on the stats and having played the season, I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Overthrow. I definitely think that Chris especially has been a super standout player for them. I mean, he's leading BLS this season in a fair few stats categories. So, I definitely look for him to be a standout player. But, this is such a close matchup either way. It really could go either way. So, I guess just you gotta see how it plays out.
Yeah, I was inclined to agree with you coming into this match, but mostly because I know that 2 of these players on Team McBoop are owners of Nier Automata, which has dominated my life. But I have heard from one of them that they've not played much of it yet, so I'm revising, especially given the recent information, my prediction, at least for this game. Team McBoop seems to be handling this very well so far.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind
here's
of...
an open opportunity. Krasaka, he may actually deserve that Season 3 Grand Champ tag that he has. Puts in the first goal for Overthrow. Seen a lot of people with those tags outside of BLS that I'm not sure they actually earn.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a point of controversy, but, Chris has been a really strong player, especially in BLS this season. Is Zach's going to sneak into the top corner? It looked like it was off a Team McBoop player, although it appeared to be going in anyway. Oh no, that was Sparkinova who got that great aerial redirect.
Just laying it down nice.
Yeah, extremely well played by him.
Mechanical and Liquid Sight kicking off.
This game's right back to a 2-on-2 tie. And or a 2v2 tie, I guess I should say. But yeah, it's super tight, which is really my prediction. Can't say for sure who's going to win, but it's going to be a great series either way.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in the dynamic of this kind of playoff setup. When it was all supposed to happen on one day, I figured these teams that got the earlier start might have a bit of advantage on the teams that get buys. But now that we're going to be kind of splitting up the days that it's done, just because of Skynet Please type situations, it's Andy, what a shot!
What a shot!
I'm not sure that matters anymore. I really do think those teams that finished in second, first. Oops, and let me check, and RAR XD, I think they may have a bit more of an advantage now that, they're not going to have to just sit while another team gets warmed up, burning their way through the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely, that was an interesting dynamic, but now we've got a completely different, but equally as interesting dynamic for the playoffs this season. So, we'll definitely... you can't really make any predictions now. We'll just have to see how it goes. As here's a bit of a break with
Nova, just
Spark,
a little wide.
it's just a bit wide.
Just coming down, Canicola is going to take it. Gets it across to midfield. Chris gets an unfortunate touch that keeps it going, and Canicola throws that one on the net. Spark Nova can't get there. 4-2 in favor of Team McBoop.
Yeah, I was, I was talking a bit with Canicola earlier today, and he said he hadn't really played any Rocket League in a while, but he has definitely not looked like it tonight. As he's got 2 goals and 1 assist so far, as does Andy. And they're just really looking to get their foot in the first game here, and then hopefully try to carry that momentum with them throughout the series. Of course, these are best of 5 series compared to the normal best of 3, so. Might be a bit more of an endurance for some teams. We'll have to see if that factors in.
Yeah, and we'll see if any roster changes come into play as well. That's certainly something we've seen plenty of in BLS playoff past. Teams swapping players in and out, sometimes for great effect, sometimes just is a change, gives somebody a little bit of a rest, and doesn't really make much of a difference. But both of these teams have a lot to consider after this first game. Do they want to keep it going? Do they want to give somebody a little break? Do they want to bring someone else in to try to counter something they're seeing on the other side? That's kind of what I enjoy about these playoffs. They're longer series, and they are allowed to switch players in the middle. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it certainly is a fun, interesting dynamic. That's one of the more interesting things I think about these playoffs is the whole switching players thing. Because most teams, they choose to start their 3 highest MMR players at the beginning, but if something isn't working out, they can always switch it up, and maybe it doesn't work. But it's nice to be able to have that player switching mid-series type of luxury. As here's a shot on goal from Liquid Sight, and that's going to sneak in as well.
Just under 30 seconds left to make up the 1 goal difference. Overthrow looking good. They've got 5 shots to Team McBoop's 6, but they've got 2 saves. McBoop with none. They looks like if they can keep up this offensive pressure, they stand a chance to tie this up with this last 29 seconds. Yeah,
they'll have to play pretty fast to get the ball down the field here, and that looks like it's what Spark's trying to do, but Cake's there to deny that one. And an unfortunate whiff from Chris is going to turn into an opportunity on the other end, just barely denied. Now it's going back the other way for Chris. Oh my God, he puts it on. Unbelievable.
What a little bump.
That was a pretty crazy dribble. Beat 2 of them.
Cake is to think he even Goomba stomped him a little bit and then just sneaks it right past Andy.
Yeah, and straight to the back post as well. It was, a tiny window. He had to put that in, and he put it right there.
Spark wins that kickoff, goes into the Team McBoop zone. Kakis misses the clear, and Chris takes it into the corner. And it hits the ground. Overtime, 4-4. Game 1. Good sight, Canicola going for this kickoff.
Yeah, no.
Quickly changes direction, heading back to the Team McBoop zone. Spark Nova goes up. Balls, Kakis is able to get it out to the side. Canicola keeps it moving. And now Liquid Sight gets a chance. Andy with the save.
Yeah, this has been...
in their zone.
Chris!
Chris!
Wow.
Chrisaka coming down off the wall.
Pretty crazy.
Showing he deserves that Season 3 Grand Champ title. Look at that touch underneath Andy going up for the save. And it's 5-4 in favor of Overthrow.
I was playing with him a lot today, and he's really been loving those kind of shots. He's been pulling them off all day, and it's good to see he gets one when it really counts here. And he also got a cycle that game. So
as did Andy.
Andy did? Yeah, you're right, he did. And so that's one on each team. And I think that's each team's highest MMR player that ends up with a cycle as well. So, fun little fact there. But, yeah, it's definitely... Chris definitely had the performance I think he needed to that game to give him the edge, like I thought might happen. And, good for him. Now look to carry that momentum, but that was an extremely close game, and I don't think Team McBoop should feel too down on themselves after that one.
Yeah, it was a really good game, a really close game, and I don't imagine either team is overly worried or overly confident going into the next possibly 4 to determine this series. We should be jumping in to start Game 2 here any moment. Just have to hope that McBoop doesn't join one of the teams, or both of them even, I suppose.
Both was the problem last time. But it's all seems to be under control here as the kickoff starts. Sparknova and Andy go for it, and it pops up. And he's immediately in the air for it, but he's not going to be able to convert. Dunk comes in from Kakis to keep the ball on the overthrow end, and a shot from Canicola. Oh, an amazing save from Sparknova off the crossbar.
Got really lucky that did not bounce in and able to just move it all the way back down the field to Sparknova, although he does get demoed by Canicola. Now Andy
said he saved it.
Past Liquid Sight. He is not successful. Liquid Sight still pushes that one just a little bit wide. Good defense played there from Team McBoop. And now another shot opportunity goes high, but there's Sparknova getting that extra touch off the wall bounce, putting in the first goal for Team Overthrow.
Yeah, that was a pretty good double touch. A bit unlucky by Andy. He hit the post while driving back toward the goal. So he couldn't quite be in the position for a save. But Overthrow will definitely be happy with that one. Early lead here, and win in the last game is probably got them feeling pretty confident. But Team McBoop's not done yet, and they're keeping it on the doing their best to keep it on the Overthrow end at least. Really hasn't been too much pressure from either team other than the lone goal on a single person play. This game
was a nice extra touch from Andy. It's easily cleared out. And now Kakis and Canicola are both going for that one. And it gets eventually moved out of the zone by Chris Saka, who's air dribbling it down the field towards the net. And Andy gets a save, but Sparknova's there. He goes wide to the wall again, not able to follow it this time. Andy driving it down, gets it past Liquid Sight, but not Chris. Chris sends it into the middle. Liquid Sight moves it down the field. Kakis is there. He brings it back to the other side. It's bouncing around in the middle. Looks like it's going to be Kakis' ball. He puts it on target. It's in under the crossbar. Tie game.
Yeah, it was a great shot from Kakis. He did well to control the ball there and then get back on it quick. And he beats Sparknova and he beats Liquid Sight. And Chris is nowhere to be found on that one, and it's gonna drop the game at 1-1 here.
Yeah, great effort. Good kickoff from Andy there. He tries to follow it, lays it down for Canicola, who throws that up to the back wall, gets another touch, but bounces by just too quick. Now Kakis kicking that off the wall across to the middle, but Spark is the next one there. He crosses the midline into the McBoop corner. Andy tries to send him back, but Chris is there. He goes up the back wall, sends it down, doesn't quite get in front of the net. Now Liquid Sight trying, but he gets stuck by Canicola, crosses the midline. Flying towards the zone. Sparknova again, putting that one on target. And Andy shuts him down, kicks it into the corner. Leaves it for Kakis. Kakis driving it down the field. Liquid Sight's going to take it from him. Man, are we going to have another high-scoring affair by the end of this, do you think? Or maybe even another overtime?
Definitely has not looked all too high-scoring so far. Liquid Sight has something to say about that, though, and he takes that one and puts it back in the net. Andy couldn't quite get the save there, and him and Kikis both went up and ended up with a free ball in the middle for sight, and he definitely capitalized on that opportunity. But what I was saying before was that this game has been looking a lot more defensive, I think. We've seen, a lot more saves from both teams. I think we had 2 total in Game 1, and each team already has at least 2 this game, so there's definitely been a lot more defense to counter the same high-powered offense as Game 1. And it's just good Rocket League so far, and that's what we're all here to see.
Yeah, it does seem like these teams have warmed up and found their zones, and now they're just going to have to grind it out and see which team comes out on top. Canicola off the wall, gets a good center, but it's going to fall. Ooh, Liquid Sight goes past it. It's still in the corner. Chris trying to get it out of the zone, but Andy sends it right back. It was a little high and long. It's going to let... Ooh, nope, Canicola and Cakis both fly past, so Andy takes the next chip. That's going to be high in the middle, and Krisaka's going to get the touch. It goes on net. It's on, and it's saved by Canicola. He does a good job controlling that and driving it around, getting that past a few teammates. Well, not teammates, but to a teammate, past a few defenders.
Yeah, this has been definitely some good pressure here from Team McBoop. A bit of communication problems could potentially be happening. And here's a chance for Chris, but...
Oh, speaking of communication problems.
Some team bumps there, interrupting the dribble. But, Chris doesn't mind. He's still on it, still going toward goal, and he's just not going to get there. But Spark has a big chance, and he definitely takes that one.
I thought Andy had a good save by just not own-goaling this right there, but not able to turn around in time to make the next save.
Yeah, he got caught on the post again.
3-1 in favor of Overthrow.
Yeah, there's only 50 seconds left, and that might be all it takes in this one. But Team McBoop still has one more chance at least. We'll have to pull off the reverse sweep to come away with the victory in this one, but just based on how close these games have been, it definitely could go either way. So that'll be...
I'm not counting anybody out yet.
No, as Spark Nova puts another one in. Maybe he wants you to rethink that. But it's not impossible, but it's definitely getting to the point where it's nearly impossible to put in 3 goals in 25 seconds. They'll basically have to all be kickoff goals here, and there's not one there. And there's nothing quick happening either, so it's definitely looking dire for them now. As Kakist is doing his best to get it out, a 1-on-1 for Canicola, 2-on-1, but Chris is able to just kill the ball, hit it toward the middle. Not great defense, but it's working. And Demo comes out as the clock hits 0, and that's going to be it for this game. Ball hits the ground and overthrows the winner. Game 2 here.
Got a victory with 4-1, putting them up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series. Checking out the chat here. Teams are getting a little, I don't know, a little aggressive. The trash talk.
I think that's just Andy.
Typical. It's it's classic stuff. This was a huge disparity, 11 shots to 3 for Overthrow, although they did have a cycle from Liquid Sight, the pure cycle, ones and everything.
There's an interesting thing. Rayeg is being subbed in here for Liquid Sight. So after winning both of the games, the second one in a pretty definitive fashion here, looks like they'll be switching out a player. So I don't know if that's gonna mess up some of the chemistry going on. It might mess with what the teams have going, but we'll see how it works out for them. It's definitely an interesting choice. Whether it's a tactical one or just, hey, Ryog, you want to get involved type of choice. Yeah, it's definitely going to have some effect on the game, I think.
I was always a fan of involving everybody on the team when I played in the past, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's what this is. They're sitting the guy that got the cycle in the last match, but they're bringing in Rayug. Rayug has been great this season, particularly on defense, and they're winning these games with offense. They've got 5 goals, they've got 4 goals. Yeah, they gave up 4 goals in that first game, but if you bring in a strong defender, that's going to go down. They only allowed 1 last game. This might be it, I think. This might be a kind of a blowout from Overthrow. Just making this small change compared to the previous 2 games we saw.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if it is a blowout, it's one of those type of blowouts where it's a 3-0, but every game was super close, and Team McBoop's got something to say about the potential 3-0 here as Canicola puts the first one in all the way across the field from the far wall into the far post.
And it looked like either of his teammates could have had an opportunity to get that goal stolen for their behalf. Didn't even need it. That's, nobody was defending any of those guys. It looked like everybody should have had that goal. That's something to worry about. But coming right back on it, this ball is going to fall in front of the net. Oh my, the craziness. It's put in eventually by Sparknova. Chris getting the assist. I'm not sure there weren't 4 or 5 guys that bumped that ball in the last couple seconds.
That was just one of those Rocket League plays. No one has any idea what's going on, and the ball somehow ends up in the back of the net.
And we're tied 1 minute into this match.
Yeah, back to a point I was going to make before that goal came in reference to the Team McBoop goal, is that the defense might be a bit poor as they haven't been playing with Rayug, and having played with both Rayug and Liquid Sight before, I know that Liquid Sight's definitely a bit more of a talker, so their communication might need a bit of adjustment to swap players. As Chris isn't super high in the air for an aerial, but that's always the danger of switching players, is you have to be wary that your rotations might be a bit different, your communication might be a bit off, and it's all about how quick you can adjust.
And we're going to see if they're able to do it. We've got a tie game. Just over 3 minutes left. This ball is being driven down the field by Krisaka, Mr. XD.
Big chance.
Oh, that gets pushed just a little bit wide, and it's cleared out of the zone by Andy. Rayug bringing this up his own corner. Tries to get that past Canicola, and does. Pakakis is going to get that sent all the way across the zone. Andy going up. He's not able to get it past Chris. Chris pops that over the top of Canicola, and now Sparknova and he are fighting for it. Looks like Canicola is going to get that win. But it's still in the corner. Canicola, Sparknova get another touch on it.
Oh, that's going to sneak in. That was well played. Just the classic ton of offensive pressure, and eventually the defense is going to get a bit disorganized, and they'll have one drop for you, and that's...
Rayug to Sparknova to Krisaka. 1, 2, 3.
And that's also going to be what all the last assists Sparknova needed for a cycle.
Already with the cycle, not even halfway into the game.
It's been some pretty good offense. I mean, he's been involved on both the goals so far,
Scoring one himself and passing on the other one, and a bit of help down on the defensive end as well.
Kate gets a good win on that, but Chris is able to get that one away from Canicola. He's still following it down the wall. It's going to go to Kakis. He sends it over to Andy. Andy kicks it out to midfield. Canicola redirects it, which just stops an offensive shot. But another one comes. Sparknova throwing that on. Canicola gets the save.
I mean,
He's
it's
denied trying to cross midfield. Oh, Sparknova not able to put that pass in. Chris passes it right back into the middle again. And it's cleared out by Andy.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a bit of a disparity now in terms of offense, as one team has 6 shots and the other one has now 4. But both teams are sitting equal on saves, which is, it's the difference here. So it's just looking like Team McBoop needs just a little bit more offense, and they could definitely swing this one into their favor, but they've only got a minute to do it.
Oh, Chris getting nasty.
Chris, yeah, he's juking him down on the other end. Trying to
I
put
thought
in
for
a-
sure he had everybody beat on that one.
I mean, he kind of did, but in doing so, he lost his angle on the shot. So he ended up giving it away. But with the lead already, plays like that just kill 10, 15 seconds off the clock, and that can sometimes be
Yeah, nothing wrong with
a
that.
big difference in games like this. As the shot's coming in, and it's gonna make it.
Tie game, 43 seconds to go. This ball just kicks out into an easy spot for Canicola. Nobody's around. He flips it up over the top of everybody.
Yeah, it was just a nice high shot. Defenders weren't quite ready for it and caught him out. And then here's a quick one from Andy, and that's gonna be deflected here by Spark Nova.
And now he
And then
throws it
it's a
back to
quick
the
one
net.
the other way, and he's gonna keep the pressure up here. It's a tie game with 30 seconds to go here, so neither team needs to be doing too much panicking. But at the same time, I'm sure they would definitely both be very happy not having to go to overtime in this one.
Team McBoop on their possibly their final
There's a
game. There
breakaway
may be some
opportunity.
clenching. Maybe some clenching.
It was a potential breakaway opportunity that did not quite fall for Team McBoop, and Spark gets a big clear. Chris is taking it up the wall here, and still not hitting the ground. And that's
There
gonna,
it
that's gonna
is.
be it. Begins our second overtime in 3 games so far. So definitely a close series.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch so far. We'll see if it's going to end here or if it's going to continue for at least one more game. Rhea bringing it down the field. Meets 2 defenders from Team McBoop. Send that over to the side.
And here's a potential shot from Chris. He's going to put it on goal, but Andy does not want to end this game that quickly. And so he's gonna clear it, but Chris is there to put another one on,
Oh!
and Andy with a great save.
Just gets it enough to kick that over to the post.
Oh, close. That's gonna turn aside as well. Definitely been a lot of high power shots and equally good saves so far, but there's a big chance, and that's also going to be cleared. There's another one. Sneaks past Ryag to get down the field. Andy and Chris, it's up. Big chance for Cake. Can't quite get it down. Spark's gonna try to clear it here, but it's still stuck in his corner, and Kenny's putting it.
Canicola.
Wow!
Bringing it back.
What a shot that was. It's a really tough angle that far out to the wall, and he just barely sneaks it in past the post and under the crossbar, and it's gonna be one for Team McBoop here. They're not done yet.
Getting their first win of the series. We are going to a game 4.
Which I'm definitely happy with because it means more great Rocket League.
2 cycles this game, and both on the losing team. Spark Nova and Krisaka, Mr. XD, just not able.
Yeah, and I mean,
Two cycles to 0 to eke out the win.
when you can see it's 9 shots to 7, so it ended up being pretty close in the shots department. But in the end, it was actually Team McBoop coming out on top of saves by 2. So that was, I think that was the difference in that one. It was a bit of defense when it counted, then the ability to finish on the other end. They didn't have as many opportunities, I think, as Overthrow, but when they did, they definitely made good of them. So we'll have to see if they can keep that up going into this next game. And if Overthrow does lose this next game, we'll have to wonder if they want to swap Liquid Sight back in.
That's certainly something to consider. If we get to a game 5, we'll see what decision they make. But I don't think they have any interest in going to a game 5.
Yeah,
As you said, there can be some quick growing pains perhaps when you swap out a teammate, simply just because of the chemistry, the rotations, the communication being slightly different. But they've got a game under their belt now, a game they kept very close, and I don't know, man. I think they are going to come out a little bit stronger this time.
Yeah, let's certainly hope so for their sakes. But Team McBoop will definitely be looking to come away from this one with the lead, as there's a slow roller in the middle, but it's quickly turned the other way by Spark and Chris, but that's going to be denied by Canicola. He's looking to get a breakaway of his own here, but Chris is going to stop that one at midfield, and they're going to go back into a bit of a more neutral state here as Andy quickly turns that into a shot opportunity, but that's also going to be cleared a bit high.
And this ball in the overthrow corner. Chris gets a big booming clear that goes up to Spark Nova. He's not able to touch it, but it's still going to be in a spot looks like Overthrow is going to be able to capitalize on, perhaps. Chris put this one in. He gets a nice touch. Oh, it is! It is in. Might have had some help.
It was just barely enough to sneak over Canicola, who found himself just slightly out of position, and he just could not quite get back in time. And that was, well placed by Chris to get it down, and just barely had enough on it to get it past the last defender there. So, well done by him. And there's another
Spark
quick
Nova
opportunity.
Quick one.
Yeah. That's just straight off the kickoff. Just barely beats Canicola, and he puts a beautiful angled shot to sneak in past all the boostless defenders. Could not get back in time.
Llama, you played in the season. If you were fighting for your life on this, win or die game, you eke it out in overtime, no less, and then you give up 2 goals in the first minute in the next game. How are you feeling? How's your mindset going into the last 3.5 minutes?
Well, I was gonna say in the first 30, 45 seconds, Team McBoop was looking a lot more confident than they had been for most of the rest of the series, but now they've given up 2 quick ones. They're playing from the back foot, and they're immediately looking a lot more conservative. Maybe just tilted. Maybe they're trying to adjust their play style. Not sure what it is. Probably a bit of both. There's another big chance coming up, but Andy's going to deny it. But yeah, I'm at least personally, I'm the type of player who would probably tilt a little bit as Chris puts another one in. Definitely not letting up anytime soon.
Yeah, it's an excellent touch. Slowing down just to get the right angle on it, get it up as high as he can in that goal. Nobody's able to make the save. And that's just got to take the wind right out of Team McBoop.
Yeah, I mean every goal that goes in on their net, they're probably sinking a little bit further down in their chairs. And here's one more, and they're kind of looking out of it now.
2 cycles again for Overthrow, but a much different scoreboard so far in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 3 minutes left in this game, so Team McBoop is far from out of it.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they're going to need to really adjust their play style, I think. Just play faster, win some of these balls in the air. And there's a start.
Able to convert. They had a few opportunities that time. A couple of them didn't go in, and eventually Kakist is able to slam this one home. Is there a weak point that you're seeing in Overthrow that Team McBoop's going to have to work on? They're going to need to exploit if they're going to overcome this deficit.
Well, I mean, there's obviously the element that Overthrow might start getting a bit overconfident. Stuff
so they
like
should let him score more goals.
Well, that's not totally where I was going with that.
Oh, my mistake.
I feel like that's not a great winning strategy.
It would greatly inflate the confidence of the other team, though. If you'll give me that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, sorry.
The logic is sound. The execution is not so much. But what I was gonna say is that they can, maybe try to catch Overthrow a bit off guard.
Pass from Andy.
Get a bit lazy on their rotations, maybe a bit lacking on defense, but at the same time, and there's a quick one from Andy, well placed.
Oh, we got a game.
Yeah, like I said, they're certainly far from out of it, and I mean, of course, counter to the overconfidence part, there's the Team McBoop side of that is, well, we're already sucking. This playstyle isn't doing anything. Might as well completely switch it up. Maybe they're purposely trying to play super aggressive. Maybe they're just kind of taking it a lot less seriously, trying to have a bit of fun with it. And there's that's
what a crazy angle from Spark Nova.
That's definitely not going to help their fun. But yeah, that was actually kind of insane.
Team McBoop looked to be making a comeback, and that's just nuts.
Yeah, he gets up nice and quick and gets his car rotated just enough to sneak it inside the post, and yeah, it's gonna be tough, I think, to come back 3 goals in a minute and 45 seconds, and Chris is looking to make that 4, but can't quite get it past. Here's a chance is not going to fall for him. There's a follow-up chance is also not going to fall, but the follow-up. That's what it is. 3rd time's the charm for Team
At
McBoop.
first, you don't succeed. Let Kakis try, and then let Andy try.
Yeah,
Says
it's,
no.
you know, third time's the charm, I guess, has been kind of the motto of Team McBoop. They lost 2 games and then finally got a win on the 3rd one, and now here they are in game 4, down 2 goals with a minute and 30 to go, but, you know, they've definitely been putting up a lot better pressure in the last
Looked strong the last couple minutes, yeah.
minute and a half compared to how they did in the first 2 minutes, so they can look to keep this up as a big bump comes out from Kakis, and some solid pressure is going to turn into a
wow.
great shot by Andy. Yeah, that was
How badly
pretty
do
well
you want
done.
Game 5 right now?
As badly as I ever want more games.
This
The
is
more Rocket League, the merrier.
This is the
that was-
same final score of Game 1 with Team McBoop at 4, Team Overthrow at 5.
The only difference was that was a 7-minute game, and this has only been 4 minutes so far. So
And Kakis has a cycle, like we pointed out, yes.
yeah, as do Chris and Spark. But you know, definitely, it's kind of been all about Team McBoop here in these last couple of minutes. They've been getting a ton of offensive pressure. You know, maybe they let one by, and Andy's gonna just barely get stopped there, and Cake's there to put it back in the middle, but Chris is there to deny him. But Team McBoop's just been keeping up a ton of pressure. 30 seconds to go. Let's see if they can.
Ooh,
they can
Chris
do
has a good chance at this one.
it. Should be saved, and it is. Definitely far from over yet. Arrives, puts it
15
down.
seconds to go. Oh, Chris makes the
Man.
save. Moving it down the field, gets it past Andy, nobody to beat. It's buying lots of time. Canacola's the next one there. Chris
Man,
off the wall,
ball
puts that
hit.
towards
Yeah,
the
it's
net.
gonna be the end of it.
Do it. Overthrow.
Definitely.
Crazy game. They'll be moving on
Crazy series.
to the next round of the playoffs to face Oops! Exclamation point. It's the battle of the exclamation points. Is the leading exclamation point or the trailing exclamation point the more powerful exclamation point? We'll find out whenever it is that we have our next round of the playoffs.
Tune in next time on
Yeah.
Boost League Soccer.
But yeah, that was just a good game.
You know, I think Chris and Spark both, you know, stepped up pretty big.
And Andy was doing all he could on the offensive side there. Cake as well with a couple strong assists, but
Couldn't quite be turned into a victory. Although Team McBoop, you know, on the topic of putting more pressure in, actually had the shot advantage, 12 shots to 7, which is a
Man.
pretty.
extreme deficit considering they lost. But then on the other side of the coin, it's 7 saves from Overthrow to a lone save from Team McBoop. You know, that's kind of how that one is going to end.
That'll ruin your day, yeah. Should we go talk to Team Overthrow, see how they're feeling?
Bet you they're feeling great. Let's go find out for sure.